Hello, friends and family. Welcome to another amazing episode of Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and Podcast. If you are just joining us for the first time, I am your host and executive producer, Coach Kiva Lernice Murdoch. And I want to welcome you to another episode of Kiva's Place. I'm so excited because as I've been in the season of pageantry, being a national queen, I'm so honored to have had a plethora of beautiful queens grace my stage. And I'm so excited because tonight is no different. I have another amazing queen that I'm so excited to learn more about. We've kind of met in passing and have spoken on several occasions. And I'm just so excited to have her here tonight. She has a lot of stuff going on. My queen is queening in all aspects of her queendom. So I am so happy to have her. Tonight I have in my studio Miss Victoria Booker, and we're going to learn more about the pageant system that she represents. And we're going to dive into mental and women health. So without further ado, help me welcome to my stage Miss Victoria Booker. So welcome, Queen. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I am ecstatic to have you come today. I'm so excited to have you. And you have a lot of great stuff going on. It's so funny because we as society really hone in on the negativity that surrounds us, but very few occasions we really don't just bask in that moment of just being thankful and grateful and being able to celebrate each other's wins. So we were just talking very briefly about your directorship over your pageant system. So we're gonna just allow you an opportunity to first of all tell our audience a little bit more about you, and then we're going to dive into the pageant system that you represent.
Okay. Well, I am Victoria Booker. I am the inaugural reigning Miss Plus Ultimate United States. I was crowned in October of 2023, and our national pageant is coming up this November in Orlando, Florida. So I am definitely looking forward to that. And I guess to dive right into the pageantry of it, I was just anointed the directorship for our Southeast region for North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So that is definitely with directing and reigning at the same time. It's a lot, but I love it.
You know what though? Congratulations to you because it speaks volume for somebody to trust you. My sister didn't say one state. She didn't say two. She said three states. She is covering a tri-state area. You hear me? So that is huge and it is amazing and it just speaks volume and just, sentiments on just your character traits and your personality and your experience, because you really have to be somebody that has a lot of experience and also be in a position to want to learn and be able to grow and be willing to be nurtured through this entire process. So congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So help me understand, Victoria, how did you actually get into pageantry? What inspired you to start on this particular journey?
Well, about, I would say, 7 years ago, I was going through a very depressive state of mind. I was going through a divorce and I was trying to figure out what what was needed to bring Victoria back to life. And I got into plus size modeling. And from modeling, someone told me, you have the face to be a pageant queen. And I was like, I've always wanted to have a crown of my own. And I competed in my first pageant, won state, but did not win nationals. And I took a step back from pageantry and it was like, okay, maybe it's not for me. But everyone was still coming to me and saying, give it another try, give it another try. And from there, I took off again in 2020, and I've been holding state titles and national titles for the last 4 years, and I absolutely love it. it definitely gives me a motivation to keep going and to not give up and sink back to my lowest lows that I was there 7, 8 years ago.
Hmm. And I feel like you have really brought up two valid points that I kind of want to discuss. The first thing is not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people that want to get into this particular community and industry and may not be successful the first go round. And just hearing your story and your perspective on it took you a couple of tries, but because of your community supporting you and backing you up, you were able to find the strength to do it again, and you actually came out successful the
Yes.
second and the third and the fourth time around. So, and we are right in the midst of pageant season right now, and we have so many women that are vying for the same crowns, and it's really important to keep your perspective when you're competing and understanding your why, because let's be honest, not everyone is going to walk away with the crown.
Mm-hmm.
But you should not give up if that's something that is calling you, and if you feel like this is the field for you, because it just may not be your time, your season. And I'm a firm believer on everything happens for a reason and in due season. So
Yes.
keep that in mind. But you
Yes.
also spoke about being in a depressive state of mind, and you spoke on what actually got you there.
Mm-hmm.
There may be some people that see us with these crowns and sashes and makeup and face beating and all of that, but there's a life behind that crown. So let's speak to that woman that may be going through a situation right now and she can't really see the light of day. So I want to kind of ask you what did your journey look like as
Okay.
you were getting from a place of being hurt to healed?
Well, that goes into my story that many and some may not know. I am at one point I was so ashamed of even talking about it. Even bringing up the topic, I would burst out in tears. Now I feel that I have to talk about it to motivate others. I have attempted to take my life 3 times. Once at the age of 16 in high school, another one at the age of 22, right after I had my daughter, and then another one at the age of 25. And each one of those times, it was for a different reason. But it made me realize that I am here for a reason. And even though the reason I wanted to leave is not it wasn't enough reason for me to end my life. Um, when I was 16, I decided to end my life for bullying. I didn't fit in. I was a heavyset girl in school, didn't have friends. Even my older brother that we call ourselves twins because we're 11 months and 21 days apart. He was one that bullied me. We were complete opposites. So when you didn't feel like you fit in with your family and then friends at school, you just felt like an outsider. You didn't see a purpose of being on earth. You didn't see a purpose in your life. So at that time, I wanted to take my life. I was committed to a behavioral health unit for a week before Christmas. Luckily, I got out 2 days before Christmas to at least spend time with my family for Christmas, and it it opened my eyes to realize that something has to change in me first before I can change it for someone else. So I started to change me at the age of 16, working out with my grandmother, getting my confidence back. And then at the age of 22, after having my daughter and getting married, going through a relationship where thinking my husband loved me, but decided he wanted to be with someone else. That tore me up because when you're in a relationship, you feel that it's supposed to be you and them together. Nothing should be able to break you apart. And how else are you to feel when your husband comes to you and say, I'm not attracted to you anymore? that they want someone else and it's all your fault. I didn't know what to do. And I felt that it was easier for everyone if I wasn't around anymore. Felt my daughter could have a better life without me being in her life. And God said, no, it's not your time. So I was committed to behavioral health for the second time. And that's when I got out. I was like, okay, Victoria, you have someone else you have to live for. And I decided at that point, if my husband didn't want to be with me, I can't force him. And that's when we went through a divorce. And that's when I actually started my pageantry, my plus size modeling, which turned into pageantry. And that gave me the confidence to keep moving forward and show that, yes, I have darkness within me, but I need to show my light as well, that no one can understand my story but me. And when I was 25, I was in a domestic violence relationship, and that one it broke me. It did. It was when they say third time's the charm. Third time is definitely the charm. It completely broke me down. I was actually sitting at Lake Murray Dam with a gun, and I loaded it. I sat there. I pulled the trigger once. Gun jammed. I pulled the magazine out, make sure everything was right, loaded it back up, pulled the trigger again, it jammed again. And all I did after that second pull, I dropped the gun and I just started crying. And soon as I started crying and just sitting there, my phone lit up, and it was my mother. She didn't know what I was doing. She didn't know where I was. She just said that she had a feeling she needed to call me. And I couldn't tell her what I was doing because me and my mother are very close, and I knew it would hurt her. So I couldn't tell her. But I knew at that point, it wasn't time to give up. It was time to break down and restructure, redo my foundation, and build again. I am 30 years old. That was 5 years ago, and I have been stronger ever since. I am tearing up myself because I look back at where I've been and where I am now, and it's nothing but God. And my surrounding family and friends and Rhinestone Sisters, my director, and even my co-regional director, they motivate me every day. They help me when I tell them I'm not having a good day. They be like, Tori, I don't care. Put a smile on your face. So I am. When you surround your life with people that won't let you get back to where you were, you have no choice but to realize you have a purpose. And I tell that for anyone that comes in my life and across my path, you have a purpose. You may not know what your purpose is yet, but God has a purpose on your life, and you just have to stick it out and figure out what it is, because you don't want to give up not knowing who life you're supposed to touch. And I'm thankful that I didn't give up because of what I was going through in the past. If I would have let friends in high school deter me, or my divorce deter me, or my abusive relationship deter me, I wouldn't have this 8-year-old in the next room calling me mommy, or this crown on my head to motivate others. I just though those roles help build the Victoria that's sitting here today, and I wouldn't change it.
Mm-hmm. And your name, Victoria, is so fitting, because you are not a victim, my sister. You are definitely a victor. Yes. And I thank God for you. And I thank God for intervening and sending angels to protect you, even when you didn't have strength to protect yourself. And because your life was spared, you are able to touch so many more people. You are able to witness and bring so many others through their mental illness or domestic situations. And I didn't realize that you and I had so much in common growing up. And it's hard growing up. Not only, it's bad enough that the world beats you down, but when you're beat down at home and amongst family where you should be loved and supported, and you're feeling everything but that, it's hard. And I don't think people realize the damage that they are doing to their children or the children that are in their circle. And by hearing our stories, hopefully it can help to educate people in how careful they have to be with their young people,
Right.
because you don't understand. You're trying to find your way, but if you're being beat down by the ones that's supposed to teach you the way, that makes your whole journey through life even more difficult.
Right.
So I just want to just pay homage to you and congratulate you on finding the strength, first of all, because it takes strength
Mm-hmm.
to have gone through everything that you've gone through and be here to sit here looking all beautifully and elegant and all put together like you are. So that is just a testament in just the power of God, the power of prayer, and the power of love.
Yeah.
And we have to get to the point to where we are loving ourselves. Because if we don't have that love for ourselves, we definitely don't have it to give to anybody else. So
Right.
kudos to you, Queen.
Thank you. I truly believe that saying God doesn't put you through nothing that He knows you can't see the other side. He doesn't. You're me. I just feel that everything He put me through, He knew I was strong enough to get through. I
There
just had
you
to
go.
believe it in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. All starts with you. You got to believe it in yourself to see the other side. If you give up on yourself, you're not gonna see it. And I gave up on myself to the brink. And then all you need is that faith of a mustard seed.
That's
So,
right. And that's for me, Victoria, I believe that it is about perspective,
mhm.
right? And life is going to be life and regardless. I don't care what you're going on, honey. This life that we have, it ain't going nowhere until we take our last breath. So it's really important for us to keep things into perspective.
Yes.
And I feel like if we do that, we are able to navigate life a little bit better. And you said it perfectly. We will not be faced with anything that we cannot bear. It's do we understand the strength that we have within us to be able to go through those situations? And sometimes I believe that God allowed us to go through certain situations, not only for us. You said it perfectly earlier. We have a purpose.
Yep.
But if you don't have a testimony, then who in the world are you about to get out here and call yourself helping? If you've never gone through life's challenges and struggles and situations, and if you have never overcome anything, how in the world are you supposed to help somebody overcome their stuff?
Right. You got to have a test to have a testimony.
Come on, somebody.
Yep.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So I wanted to ask you, and before I ask you this, ladies and gentlemen, we have a poll question that I completely forgot to mention. We are doing something new on Keeper's Place. So every show, we will have a poll question that ties into our topic. So our poll question tonight is mental health issues only based on our hormones? So we want to hear from you. Again, is mental health is mental health issues only based on our hormones? And we hear that quite a bit. So we want to hear from you. Do you feel like this is a true statement or not? Why? But I wanted to ask you, Victoria, what are some practical tips that you feel were beneficial and vital in your growth, and that could also help the next woman in getting themselves out of that dark place to better footing on getting to their healing journey?
I would say three things was really beneficial to me. One, you always have to have a journal. write it out. You got to get it out somewhere. If you feel that you don't have that person that you can talk to get it out of what's going on in your mind, then write it out. That journal is for you and you only. You got to get it out some kind of way. My second point is to find something that distracts you. If you feel that you're having a heavy day, your mind is constantly going, your thoughts are constantly running, have something that distracts you. Me, I love puzzles. If I feel that my mind is on 16 different topics and I need to focus on one thing to calm myself down and not stress and be overwhelmed and feel like I am just failing and being defeated by life, I sit down with my tablet and do a puzzle. It helps me focus just on one thing to recall my mind and just realize everything in the world is going to be there. But if you don't take control of you, everything is going to swallow you. And then my third thing was, even though I say write it out, try to find that one person you can talk to. I've learned that my mother is my best friend. I would always say I didn't want to go and talk to her about certain things that may be on my mind, but she's always been there, 10 toes down. My mother has been there through everything, never judged me. She may chewed me out a little bit, what mother wouldn't, but she listened to me. And I know that no matter what I'm going through, she's there. Find that person that you know is not going to judge you. Find that one person you know that is going to answer your call 2:30 in the morning when you feel like throwing the TV outside the window because you just need to let out the anger. That person is, I would say, like, when we have alcoholics, they have the AA sponsor that is always there. Find your sponsor. Or as far as my platform, I'm sorry, my mom would as far as my platform, find your life vest. My mental health life vest was my mother. She helped me stay afloat. So for my platform, I wanted to revolutionize the life vest for mental health. A life vest is just something that keeps us afloat when drowning. When you're drowning, it could be depression. It could be mental health. It could be you're suffocating at work. Anything in your life can make you drown. What is keeping you afloat? Is it your mom? Is it your best friend? It doesn't even have to be a person. It can be puzzles. It can be cooking and baking, or it can be pageantry, being around your rhinestone sisters. Find that something to be your life vest in your life to help you stay afloat and keep you calm and realizing you're here for a reason.
Absolutely. Those are some amazing tips. Amazing tips. I wanted to ask you, because our time is running out. It's amazing how fast 30 minutes go by. But I feel like we need to dispel a few myths. Okay. So if you can think of any myths surrounding mental health or mental illness or even women health, what are some myths that you think are crucial that we need to talk about tonight and get the facts out there?
Stop judging books by cover. Stop looking at people and say that they do not have mental health issues. You cannot determine that just by looking at somebody. Because looking at me right now, you would not know that I've been through what I've been through. That is one myth that I absolutely hate. Stop looking at people and judging them just because what they look like. They don't have a story.
God, we got to stop there, because that one is so important. And I feel like when we have individuals that look strong on the outside, look like they have it all together. And when they take that step to unalive themselves, we often find ourselves questioning, like, why? Like, what did we miss? And I feel like that's a myth that we really need to bust right away. And we see the saying circulating on social media all the time: check on your strong friends. And that's true. Looking at me, you would never know that I struggle sometimes as well. And it's okay to say that out loud. I feel like when people don't know, they can't help. So we have to make it normal to have a conversation, especially our culture. We don't like to talk about it. We like to pray about it. We're going to pray about everything, but we don't never talk about it. So I feel like we also need to normalize talking about what these struggles look like, so that we can make it familiar, and then also make it a customary thing to not overlook some of those signs.
Right. But speaking on signs, how do you feel that you know the signs? That's a question and a myth as well. What is the signs for mental health? You have to really know your people or your close loved ones to know the signs. If you know me, I'm bubbly. I joke a lot. I like to do crazy things. I'm random. I love to love. I have a big heart. I will give my shirt off my back and the shoes off my feet to someone that I know that's in need. But if you see me go quiet and withdraw and don't interact, that's a sign something's wrong. You have to take time, slow down, and realize the signs in people and understand. You taking the time to just ask them, are they okay? Or you want to talk? I'm here. Those two words can impact someone's life 100%. I'm here can change someone's complete thought process to maybe wanting to end their life. So they know that someone else is here with them, because many people that want to end their life feel that they're completely alone.
Yes. Yes. And just creating that safe space for them.
Yes.
I hear that. Yes. Yes. That is so important. That is so important. Do you have at least one more, Victoria? These are good.
It's not, I have one more, but it's not just speaking on women. It's women and children. Well, more children. Look at our children. Mental health does not eliminate them just because they're children. Our mental health starts when we're little. My mental health started when I was 15. I wrote a 6-page suicide letter and wanted to end my life at 16. I was still a minor. You have to keep your eyes on our children, because that's where our mental health starts. When they feel neglected and not loved and feel alone, they don't know how to express what's going on in their mind. So as they get older and get into adulthood, they don't know what to do. So it's a myth that children does not experience mental health issues. It's not true. It's more likely for them to have experienced it in childhood before they get to adulthood. We just don't talk about it.
God, that is so true, because countless of time I can recall just trying to express my thoughts, and you can probably attest to this too, and just being completely shut down because you are a child.
Yep.
You ain't lived yet. And nowadays,
you don't know what you're talking about. You 15. You ain't lived life yet. No, you have to allow our children to actually speak their minds, and don't judge them just because of their age. You don't know what's going on through their mind. You're not with them 24/7 24 hours of the day. So you don't know what they're experiencing at school. My mom didn't know I was being bullied at school. I came home and acted totally different than how was I at school, because when I'm home alone in my room, that's my safe space.
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as I'm telling her I don't want to go to school, but she makes me go to school, but never asks me what's going on, you never know. So you got to
Yeah.
look at these signs, and if your child is saying they don't want to go to school, you got to figure out why. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, definitely be your child's advocate.
Yes.
Be your child's advocate. That's a must. Well, listen, this has been so good. I really, and it's something that I really, having this platform is really important for us to keep these conversations going,
Yes.
because if we don't talk about it, we are out here dying,
Right.
or we're raising a generation behind us and we are teaching them all of these, negative coping skills that's not beneficial to them. So I feel like we really have to do our due diligence to keep these type of conversations going. So I will love to invite you back to Keeper's
Yes.
Place at a later date so that we can continue this. Because I feel like we don't talk about it, we don't address it enough.
Right.
So like I say, every Thursday night, once you grace my stage, you are no longer a stranger, you're family. We are already rhinestone sisters, as you
Yes.
put it. So, honey, we're family now. So
Yes.
anytime you have anything coming up, please do not hesitate to slide on through Keeper's Place and share what you have coming up. This has been
Yes.
amazing, and I have thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I've really enjoyed being here. You are amazing. You are an awesome queen. I have loved following your reign, and Keever's Place has been ultimately something I watch every Thursday. So you are doing awesome.
Thank you so much, Queen. Well, we cannot let you go, first of all, until we let people know how they can connect with you. So
Yes.
drop your contact information so that we can share it.
So my email is Southeast Region Ultimate Pageant at gmail.com. Again, I am the Southeast Region Director, which is North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia for the Ultimate Pageant System. If you're looking for a new pageant home, please reach out to me. We're gearing up for our nationals in November, as well as I'm preparing for our first tri-state state pageant next year in March. So please reach out. We would love to have you a part of our Ultimate family. The House of Ultimate is something you don't want to miss. So
Come on
I
now.
love it.
I love it. I love it. And then you're also on Facebook,
Yes,
correct?
Victoria Star Booker on Facebook. Easy, if you're on Facebook, it's always easy to contact me and email me there, or I'm sorry, inbox me there.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you once again for dropping by Keeper's Place. You are definitely welcome. We definitely have to get another show date because this is only part one. We haven't even
Yes.
scratched the surface yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we will work on that so we can find some time to bring you back on the show. You got to come back. And I want to also thank our amazing sister queens who have been watching and interacting, and they are thoroughly engaged, not only for this show, for several shows that we do on Thursday nights. They are right there with us. So thank y'all so much. You just don't know how much you ladies are appreciated. I love you beyond the world. So thank y'all so much. And let's continue to remember our delegates who are vying for the state titles for the South Carolina Miss Plus America pageant that is going to be going on this weekend in beautiful Sumter, South Carolina at the Pageant Hall. I believe this is our first time in Sumter, so we are looking forward to Sumter hosting our amazing women. So if you don't have anything going on Saturday, definitely stop by Patriot Hall and check out the Miss Plus America, South Carolina Miss Plus America pageant.
I will be there. So if you want to see me, I will be supporting.
I love it. I love it. And I'm going to do my best to get to Florida somehow because I am so intrigued about your pageant system, and I want to learn more about it. So
Yeah, right now
definitely,
we are the only pageant system that does swimwear and activewear as as a category on stage for plus size. Well, for our entire pageant system, other than like plus Miss America, Miss Universe, we so I love that we do swimwear and activewear on stage.
I love that too because we really talk about body positivity so much and having that confidence and self-esteem. And what are the way that you can prove that than getting in a swimsuit when you are a plus size
Hey, I
woman?
got in the swimsuit and hit that stage with confidence, and I loved it.
I know that's right. I love it. I love it. So definitely, ladies and gentlemen, reach out to Victoria if you are interested in learning more about the Miss Plus Ultimate United States pageant, and either in the state of South Carolina, you said North
North
Carolina,
Carolina and Georgia.
and Georgia. So definitely reach out to her. She will be a wonderful resource, and she can definitely let you know what you need to do, as she is now the director. So definitely reach out to us. And you come right back next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will have another amazing guest on Kiva's Place. And guess what? We'll be doing it all over again. So until next time, continue to share, connect, and glow, because building your network also builds your net worth. So until next week, family, peace and blessings. Love you all. Good night.
Nice.